What teacher insulted you in your own language? I'm Korean American, born in Chicago, but my parents made sure I spoke Korean at home. In high school, I had this substitute teacher for Spanish class who clearly didn't want to be there. Mrs. Peterson was filling in for our regular teacher who was out sick. She seemed annoyed from the moment she walked in, mumbling about how she'd rather be anywhere else. During class, I was struggling with the Spanish pronunciation. I kept messing up the rolling R sounds, and some kids started giggling. Mrs. Peterson got frustrated and said we needed to focus better. That's when she started talking to another teacher who'd walked in. They were standing right behind my desk, and Mrs. Peterson thought she was being clever. She started speaking in what she thought was Korean, but it was actually just random sounds mixed with some Japanese phrases she probably learned from anime. She was basically making fun of Asian languages in general. These Korean kids think they're so smart, she said in broken fake Korean, but they can't even handle simple Spanish. Maybe they should stick to math and science like their parents want. She had no idea I understood every single word she was saying. The other teacher just nodded along, probably not understanding either but going with it. I sat there feeling my face get hot, but I didn't say anything. I was 17 and didn't know how to handle a teacher being racist right behind my back. After class, I went home and told my mom what happened. She got this look on her face I'd never seen before. Quiet anger, but also determination. My mom had immigrated here when she was 25. She worked as a nurse at the hospital and had perfect English, but sometimes people still treated her like she didn't understand things. The next morning, my mom showed up to school with me. She asked to speak with Mrs. Peterson privately in the classroom before first period started. I waited outside but could hear everything through the thin door. My mom started speaking in perfect Korean, describing exactly what had happened the day before. Mrs. Peterson just stood there looking confused. Then my mom switched to flawless English and said, "I understood every racist word you said about my daughter and our culture yesterday. I have a master's degree in linguistics from Seoul National University. I speak 4 languages fluently, and I've been a registered nurse in this country for 15 years, saving lives while you substitute teach and mock students." Mrs. Peterson tried to defend herself, saying it was just a misunderstanding, and she didn't mean anything by it. My mom pulled out her phone and played a recording. She'd called the school that morning and gotten permission to record the conversation for educational purposes. This recording will go to the principal, the school board, and the state education department. You insulted a student in what you thought was her native language, not knowing she understood every word. You also made racist generalizations about Korean families and Asian students. That's not a misunderstanding, that's discrimination. Mrs. Peterson's face went completely white. She started apologizing frantically, saying she'd had a bad day and didn't think before speaking. My mom just smiled coldly and said, "In Korea, we have a saying, a frog in a well knows nothing of the great ocean. You assumed you were smarter than everyone around you, but you were just showing your ignorance." Mrs. Peterson was fired that same week. The recording made it clear she'd violated multiple school policies about respectful treatment of students and cultural sensitivity. 2 months later, I got a letter in the mail. It was from Mrs. Peterson, written in very bad Korean that she'd obviously used Google Translate for. She was apologizing and saying she'd enrolled in cultural sensitivity training and Korean language classes at a community college. My mom read it and laughed. "She's still getting the grammar wrong," she said, "but at least she's trying to learn instead of just making fun of what she doesn't understand."